What is good, beautiful souls? I'm Saint Sir Coach, and I'm here with my cat to bring you a collective energy reading using some channeling and also using some oracle cards, maybe tarot cards, but mostly oracle cards. And I personally am vibing and tapping into the energy of new beginnings, new chapters, and bliss maxing is something that is currently on my mind and I'm very curious about experimenting with, as well as home and the idea of like what home is and means to me is just where I'm coming from, just so you have that context. But we'll see what comes out for this reading. So we'll see what energy you're in, what your guides have in store and in mind, and yeah, we're gonna dive in. Let's see what cards I want to use first. Okay, got it. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the Shaman Dream Oracle deck first. I'm just gonna shuffle these cards. How's your week going? How's your day? How's your life? How's your year? Currently when I'm recording this, it's July 2026, so the year is already more than halfway over. Whoa, that's way too many cards. Thank you. Yeah, it is the year of one in numerology sense, right? 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 6 equals 10. 10 gets simplified down to 1 because 1 plus 0 equals 1. So again, new chapters, new beginnings, starting over, starting fresh, blank slate, not necessarily redo energy, but there is the opportunity for that if that's where you're at, in how the newness is ringing for you. Like, okay, let me try something I've done before, but let me try it again, or with a new perspective, or with new energy, or with new motivation, or new tools, new techniques, new tricks. So maybe it is instead of like redo, I want to say like reprise. Like if you're into musicals, like when there's a song that has happened already in the show, and then later in the show they sing the song again, but it's a little different. Like maybe they change up the lyrics a little bit, or maybe the melody is a little funky, or maybe there's new harmonies, and it's like the reprise of that song. So they're like revisiting it, and then it's like revamped. So they're like it's like connected to the previous song with the same namesake, but there's something different about it because perhaps like the plot has evolved, the characters have evolved, we have evolved since last time. Yeah, so the energy is like, oh, it's still there, but something's different this time. We have card number 63, Winter's Dream, Gestation Period. I'll make sure to flip my camera around so that it doesn't come out backwards. This is actually going to be really hard to see on camera, so I'll definitely explain it regardless. It is like a fairy with wings in pastel colors, and like their bottom half of their body is like inside a snail shell, and there's like icicle glaciers in this pastel purples and pinks and yellows that they're kind of glowing and hovering over. Gestation period, Winter's Dream, 63, which gets added up to 9, which makes me think about completion, the end of cycles. So 2025 was the year of 9, 2026 the year of 1. But it doesn't matter what season this is. It doesn't matter that I'm filming this in summer and this is talking about winter, but really thinking about gestation period as in, okay, something is maybe brewing, maybe there is an idea you have or something you're working towards that's just like taking some time and not necessarily trying to rush it, but it's in kind of this hibernation development mode, much like the gestation period of something about to be born, right? It gestates first, right? It's like in the cocoon, in the chrysalis, in the belly first, where it develops before it is birthed, right? Before it is ready to emerge. We have card 46, adding to 10, simplifying to 1, which is Root Girl, the disowned self. So thinking about root chakra, but also the imagery here has a young person with their head down. Their head is like covered in autumnal leaves, and there's a bunch of branches, like tree branches, sticking out of like the crown of their head, and then there's like roots of the tree wrapped around the bottom half of their body, and they're kind of like holding their legs with their arms. That's the best way I can describe this image. This deck is very fantastical in its imagery. So you can there's kind of like the face and like the arms holding the legs, right? So a little tough to see, but I'm describing the cards anyway, so you don't even have to look at the screen. Even if you're a sighted person and you love visuals, like maybe tap out of the screen, you know, and just listen. Sometimes it's good just to listen, just to vibe, you know. Not everything is about what you can see anyway, or what anyone can see. The real magic is always in the unseen anyway, right? The invisible. And some of the smartest people I know are blind or low vision, right? And so even thinking about that, like it's really your third eye, if anything, that's gonna tell you anything you need to know, not your physical eyes. They can be misleading, actually. So maybe there's hidden truths somewhere. With the root girl, that makes me think about, like, of course, root chakra, childhood, again, development, foundation of the self, foundation of like where we've come from, what's at our core, may or may not be how we define ourselves, but maybe we've been marked or formed significantly based on these foundations. We have card 2, Beloved, Radical Acceptance, and it's a flaming heart on fire, kind of an abstractly shaped heart, on fire and full of flames nonetheless. And there's kind of purple swirling around it. yeah, radical acceptance. How can you accept where things are at right now? Things that maybe are still brewing, still gestating, still being developed, still being formed. How can you radically accept your past, where you've come from, the good, the bad, the ugly, the cuddly, and not necessarily forget or move on, but having that unconditional love for yourself and all parts of yourself in your history and story, because it shaped you into who you are in the present. And when we're like stuck in the past and ruminating, then we lose sight of the present. The present is ever fleeting, but everything is all about the present. And if you're stuck in the past while the present is going on, then like you might miss something. You might miss something, right? There's also the radical acceptance of like where you're at, of the present, right? Maybe there's like more to come, more that's being developed, more that you're looking forward to, more that's brewing, more that's on the horizon. And so even if you may feel frustrated because of stagnancy or feeling stuck, or like something you wanted to happen is not seeming to happen or work out. Me personally, I am like trying to move, and am like, it was like really hard to find a place that was a good fit for me and my cat. And I think I found that place. I'm really, really hopeful, but there's still a chance, right, that that doesn't pan out for us. I also am applying to work, which I feel like I'm like in an infinite hamster wheel of applying to jobs, and then also trying to figure out career, and also trying to like pick a lane and stay in it, but that's not really my vibe either. Like I like to do many things, and I don't really care about money, but I do care about like access to resources and the things I need to survive and be blissed out in life, and what is going to bring me that bliss. Sometimes money is a barrier to a lot, right? And so I've been hit with the like inundation of rejection email after rejection email, and you know it's hard. It's hard to take that again and again and again. But right, something is brewing. Something is just in the gestation period still, right? And so I personally am trying to just go with the flow, be in the present, trying to radically accept my circumstances, and also know that every given moment is fleeting. Life itself is fleeting and ephemeral, like performance art, right? Like it's there and then it's gone, it's over. We have dances on one foot, balancing act with card number 9. It is a green fairy-like moth type creature with a pointed foot in the air, kind of at an angle, not quite a battement, not quite an attitude, if you know ballet terms. Yeah, green, very luscious, very nature spirit-esque. Dances on one foot, balancing act. So we're thinking about, and also card number 9, right? Again, getting 9. So completion, end of cycles, wrapping things up. Balancing act, dances on one foot. It's all about the balance, right? It's all about balancing our wants and our needs, what we yearn for, what we desire, and like what we actually end up getting and receiving. But we also have to be open to receiving as well, because if we get stuck in what we have yet to receive, what we have never received, then possibly we're just continuing to manifest never receiving it ever, right? And like maybe it never will come true because we're just so stuck in the energy of, oh, well, it will never happen to me. It's not my destiny. Well, with that attitude, maybe it won't. Maybe it isn't for you. So you have to like want what you want, right? And you also have to believe that you deserve what you want as well, as much as you deserve what you need. Because we all deserve what our needs are, but we're also human, right? And if we have desires and things we want and yearn for, if it's gonna help us reach closer to our goals or reach closer to, you know, eternal happiness and joy, kindness and love and all that good stuff and woo-woo stuff, then we have to be in that mindset of that radical acceptance. Ooh. Sorry, I thought I was gonna sneeze. So I'm like moving my face around a lot. Card 52, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. And this is a person whose like head is full with feathery wings, and their arms are each full of feathery wings. It's blues and purples and pinks, and there's like a glow behind them and planets around them, and they're literally physically, like their legs are straddling a planet. And so this card number 52, 5 and a 2, simplifying to 7, is very auspicious and spiritual. We kind of get I know, like time traveler energy, timeline, creator, creatrix energy. Perhaps something to pay attention to is your dreams, and like, what are your dreams telling you? Are you like having any flashbacks to this current life or past lifetimes in your dreams? Are you being sent messages from your spirit team, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, other entities and humans and creatures you may be telepathically connected to, right? Pay attention to the dream realm. Sometimes the dream realm reveals a lot about spiritual phenomena and also what's going on in our subconscious, right? Yeah, and like our higher self also is like in our subconscious, like knocking on the doors and the walls and the windows of our brain, like, hey, listen up. Since you weren't listening when you were awake, you didn't pay attention to any of those signs, symbols, and synchronicities when your eyes were open, when you were wide awake in the waking world, navigating the earthly plane. I'm gonna break it down to you this way, in a different way, so you can maybe pick up something new that's being thrown down that you may have missed. Okay, I think I'm done with this deck. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna use one more deck, which is the little Oracle deck by Angel Skog. And I want to, yes, they're the Nordic Light on YouTube. That's their username, handle, theme. So they made this deck. I love watching their videos and hearing how they channel and interpret messages and divine use different tools and cards. And yeah, I love this little deck because these oral messages are kind of straight to the point. They're thematic, but they're kind of straight to the point. There's room for interpretation and symbolism for sure, but it also kind of just says what it is very plainly. And so I like it when to use something like a deck like this when we have more ambiguous imagery and then we want to get more specific with themes and ideas. Let's see if I can get a single card. So I'm just shuffling now. Okay, that card. That's it. Okay, confidence. We have a lion perched up on a little tree stump, and there's a ladder. The lion is kind of sitting and perched taller than the ladder, overseeing the ladder. Overseeing the ladder? But it's a ladder. Yeah. This in the background is kind of like peaks and valleys of like hills or an outside environment, but it also is round, so it also looks like the shape of the sun. And so to me, this also is reminding me of the Strength tarot card, it also being a lion, but that's usually a male lion with a mane, and this is a female presenting lion here, a lioness in this card. And this is talking about, yeah, confidence in oneself. And also with the ladder here, the physical ladder, it makes me think that, oh, this lion like worked hard to get to where they are. It didn't just appear. They didn't just wake up one day and were in charge of a whole community of lions and animals, right? They worked hard. They trained for this. They prepared their whole life to be a leader. And then the time came to ascend. But they had to believe in themselves first, or else if they were their biggest enemy, they could not have gotten where they're at now, or to get in that position of having authority, having agency, having autonomy. Maybe you can relate. I relate. Maybe you do too. All right, let's see another card, Spirit. Let's see. Okay, with 2 cards, I'll take them. We have protection, and it's kind of like, it looks like a moon, but I always interpret this as a disco ball because it's kind of got a bunch of stars around it and it's glowing and shiny, and it's kind of hovering over an angelic fountain. It kind of reminds me of the Bethesda fountain in New York City, also mentioned in the musical, it's not a musical, a straight play, Angels of America, by Tony Kushner. Yeah, protection. This card is about spiritual protection. regardless of whether you feel connected specifically to specific spirits or a spirit team, whether you've tapped in, tuned in to who that may be for you or not, you are protected, at the very least, by the people who came before you, and even by the people who will come after you, people in your lineage. And that's not necessarily people that are blood related to you. They could be anyone who has been where you are. People who are part of your community at large, share identities, shared experiences. We have a crescent moon and a stack of books and a floating golden key for the key. So within all these cards, within the radical acceptance, the balance, straddling the conscious between the subconscious information while you're unconscious, being more confident in yourself, knowing and trusting the universe. The universe has your back, that you are divinely protected and being divinely guided. You already have the key, because your higher self is you, is your soul, which you already have and possess, right? So the key, the answer that you're looking for, the solution to your problems, the thing you really want, you already have. What? So if you get in the mindset of imagining and believing, okay, I already have a home, I already have safety, I already have love in my life, I already have the kind of job I want, the life I want, the career I want. Just embody who you believe and know that you are, what you want and desire. And the more you do that and just lean in, the more things will fall in place. The more signs, symbols, and synchronicities you'll see, be attuned to, because the magic is already there. The magic is around you, whether you're picking up on it or not, whether you're noticing the signs, symbols, and synchronicities or not. They're there all around you, just waiting for you to be like, hey, notice me. We have, it's funny, I was turned to this card earlier and I was like, maybe I'll put it back. So I did. It came out anyway, of course. And it's a white snake with a black head. And behind it is a circle that kind of almost looks like stained glass with different triangle cutouts of pinks, greens, blues, grays, and a dark gray circular round border. Transformation, shedding that skin, new beginnings, right? So transformation, transmutation, right? Shifting from one state of being to another, shifting from one mindset to another, shifting from lack of self-confidence, from feeling lost, from feeling stagnant, into a belief that everything is in the right place. Everything in its right place, right place. Let's see, so I have one more card from this deck, maybe. Let's see, there it is. Kindness, and it's a little, gosh, I'm gonna get this animal wrong. I'm pretty sure it's otter. Don't quote me on that. I think it's a sea otter. And there's also a bumblebee or honeybee. And there's a heart made up of tiny little hearts, blues, orange, pinks, and reds. And it says kindness. Being kind to yourself, being kind to your younger self, your inner child, being kind to those around you, being kind to everything in the universe, all living beings, because karma, you get back what you put in, simply put, right? You receive kindness and goodness from the universe when you put out goodness and kindness into the universe, into your surroundings, into other people's lives. So whether directly you help someone one day and then a couple months they offer you a job that you really want, whether you give someone some cash for food one day, then down the line in the near future, you like win a scratch off lottery. You never know. You never know. Random acts of kindness are worth it and important, and not just because you want to receive goodness and so you're only doing good things so you can receive good, but also because it feels good to be good and to give goodness out, right? Like it actually does feel good. Even when we're feeling upset or confused or lost, like when we take time to help someone with directions, when we take the time to help a stranger, or even someone we know, or someone we don't know well, or someone we kind of know, someone who we love. We have a little tiny bird on a little perch, on a little branch, and it's in front of a little pocket watch with Roman numerals. And it says time. Time's up. It's time. The time is now. And the time on this watch says 10:53:54. It's not quite 55, but it's about to be. If those numbers 10:55, 10:53, 10:54 mean anything to you. Let's see if I can get that to focus a little bit. Yeah. Time. Tweet, tweet, tweet. It's time. The time is now. Better late than never. There's no better time to be kind, transform, be confident in yourself, radically accept your circumstances, the present, your past. And once you do that, then the future becomes like more clearly infinite, right? Because the past, it's happened, it's done, period, it's over, right? The present, it's like happening. It's happening and it's also simultaneously becoming the past every single millisecond, nanosecond. It's like already over, right? Which is also what's cool about the present, right? Is it's moving, it's shifting. But the less you stay in the present, like the more we'll miss, right? And the sooner that all becomes past energy. See if I get one more card from this deck to close this out. All right, wisdom with the owl and more autumn vibes. It will be autumn soon. Summer is very fleeting. there's kind of a multi-layered star shape made of triangles within a round circle behind the owl. Wisdom, ancestral wisdom, wisdom of those who came before you, wisdom and the knowing of your higher self and just yourself, your brain, your heart, your body, mind. Internal wisdom, wisdom of the collective, wisdom of your communities. The wisdom to know what you can change, what you can't, what's out of your control. But also recognizing and remembering that you have free will also. And many of us have more autonomy and agency than we give ourselves credit for. Or sometimes it's hard when society feels stacked against us because we're marginalized systemically based on our identities or lived experiences or otherwise. Sometimes it can be hard to use our own wisdom to tap in, tune in. And also there's, even if you don't feel like a wise being or a smart person or whatever those words mean, you're tapped into a collective consciousness, right? So there's more, you know more than you think you know, right? Sometimes it just takes sitting down, reflecting, writing things out, talking things through, soundboarding off someone, or you're just soundboarding with yourself to be like, oh, okay, now I know what my next move is going to be. Oh, okay, I didn't even make that connection before. Now I do. Now I think I can make some moves. Now I think I can shift some things. Or I didn't even think about this perspective before, but it's totally valid. Right, right, right. All right, I really like this book of poetry by Cleo Wade, called Heart Talk. So I'm gonna like flip the pages around to a random page and read from it. Okay, 2 pages, I lied because they're kind of connected. Our work ethic does not just belong at work. Our work ethic is something that must be applied to our home, our family, our community, in our world. Don't allow for your goals to exist only in the workplace or where they can be financially rewarded. Live with ambition for your entire existence. Every aspect of your life can be made better with hard work, love, and devotion. I love that. I love that. I like to think of myself as a hard worker, an eager beaver, a diligent worker, right? That's like how I describe myself in cover letters for jobs. But also I could describe myself like that outside of work too. Like I work hard for myself, my life, for the things I love, the people I love and care about, the things I'm passionate about, and working hard is definitely a part of like my core being, and I pride myself on that. Like I really try and give everything my all as much as I can, no matter how many spoons of energy I have at a given moment. You know, I'll show up and I'll still try. I will try with all my might, even if I'm running on 5% energy. I will still give at least 3%, which is a lot of 5%, right? So there's this idea of, right, believing in ourselves enough to know, like, okay, all the energy you want to put in to, like, working for, like, other people, you can put that work in for the things you truly desire and want, whether it is spiritual practice, whether it is moving homes, whether it is relationships, whether it is career, finances, whatever it may be. But what if we, like, worked hard and diligently and with love in every aspect of our lives? Then we wouldn't just be like, okay, switching off, switching on, all these different modes. We would be a more continuous thread and more authentic version of ourselves. And we wouldn't have to necessarily code switch or mask so often, because we would just be in it, being ourselves all the time, giving our all the time, or however you identify your work ethic to be, whether it's trying really hard or trying in a balanced way, or being authentic in every way and everywhere you show up. Yeah, lots of good stuff here. Lots of good stuff here. Yeah, I'm not going to use tarot today. Sometimes tarot gets confusing or scary, which is why I prefer using oracle cards. They get a little deeper, sometimes symbolic and metaphorical, but also thematic in a way I feel like is more approachable and digestible. And you don't need, like, to study oracle cards beforehand to know necessarily what they mean to you. So I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed, please engage, like, subscribe, comment, share. You can book an energy reading with me, which are guided by a single question or theme that you provide to me via email, and then I'll respond with a link or downloadable file with a customized personal energy reading that's recorded and captured just for you. I'll also include, like, images, photos of the cards used in it. So you'll also be able to just reflect and stare at the cards and see if you can divine or channel anything on your own from them. Because I really love the idea of, like, interactive readings and not just reading at people, but reading with people. So I hope you enjoy your day, evening, night, afternoon, time, wherever, whenever you are. Peace and light. See you next time.